Hey guys, Melissa here. I just want to share a project with you. I made this for Crystal, who I'm doing a one-on-one swap with. We met over at your paper pantry, and I really liked some of the things I saw she made, and so I contacted her and said, hey, you want to do a swap? And so, of course she said, yeah, she's really nice. And so we decided that it would just be whatever we wanted to make kind of a swap. So I have no idea what she made me, and she has no idea what I made her. So I've actually been wanting to make one of these for a while. I've seen it, I believe, in the Somerset Studios magazine, and something very similar to this. So I actually used a vintage book. It was, I believe, in the 1940s. Although, looking back, honestly, guys, I would have used a regular book. The reason for that is when I cut these squares out, the paper was so thin and it ripped so easily that trying to cut these straight and, just not rip the rest of the pages was really, really tough. But, it is what it is. I used the vintage book because at first I really wasn't sure what I was going to do and, or how I was going to have it turn out. So either way, I wanted to use a vintage book, but if I make another one of these, it definitely won't be with a vintage book. So just, little FYI there. So anyways, what I did was I split the pages in half and I went through and I gessoed the pages together at different levels. I cut the squares out, so like this is the deepest and so is this, and then this is the most shallow, this is kind of in the middle. So I had to go through and gesso them, and because the pages were so frail, they were really hard to make stay like flat, so they were like warping. I mean, it gives it character, but it was kind of like a fight with these pages. I went through right here and I just ripped out a little section for the to put a photo corner in the corner there, and so here's a Tim Holtz keyhole that I received in a swap from Stacy Ann, and then I also received this from her as well. Thank you, Stacy. I really appreciated the swap we did. This here is an actual vintage key. This is a resin piece that I made. Here's a little tiny spool, so cute. And then the flowers are either I Am Roses or Wild Orchid Crafts, one or the other. Here's a jar that I actually did put stuff in here, but you can't tell anymore. And then, again, some, pieces that I made myself with molds. This piece right here actually broke when I flipped the book over to work on the back. And so they were already glued down, and there was no way I could get that off of there. I was like, ugh. So I just had to kind of work with it, and I just, tried to make it fit in as best I could. So sorry about that, Crystal. If I could have put a new piece on there, I would have, but I would have just completely destroyed everything trying to get that off because I put it with glossy accents. But then I also used this really pretty cameo with these chains that hang down. And so I had to, as I was painting and stuff, I had to make sure that I kept these moving so that they wouldn't just get all stiff and not move anymore. And this really cool spoon that I bought at like a, I think, garage sale. And so originally I spray painted the entire, with all the embellishments with white spray paint. And once that dried, I went over it with gesso so that I could spray it with the, like the Lindy's. I used Lindy's, I used my homemade, and I used Tattered Angels. So it's a combination of all of them. And I also used the paste with my word stencils and just kind of did that a little bit here and there. Now what these are, this and this picture and this picture, I wanted to show you guys. These are really cool. I bought mine at Michael's, and what they do is they're little images, and they originally come on a paper backing. You cut the image you want, you put it on your hand with the image face down and the paper facing up, and then you put water on it. And after about 30 seconds to a minute, you can slide the paper off and you're left with like a transparent image. You have to be really careful because they crack and break, and I broke a few of them trying to get them on here, but it was successful with a couple at least, and so that's where these images are from. And so, you know, I added these after I did all the spraying and everything like that. So, really, really fun to do. You know, like I said, if you guys are gonna, you know, think about making one of these, just do yourself a favor and use a newer book. So here's the front or back, whichever. So originally I had crackle painted everything, and just didn't like the way it had turned out. So I covered it with paper. Again, I spray painted it. Then I, you know, sprayed it with my, you know, Lindy's and stuff. I also did the paste with the word stencil. I got this image in a swap, really like that. And then this frame here I got at the dollar store. I got 2 of them in a package, and they're actually magnets. And so again, I spray painted the frame to match. And then I just put some flowers right here and left them natural. So I didn't want to do too much to the front because, you know, that's really not what I, you know, would think would be showing. So I did want to do something though, and I think that turned out pretty good. You know, I didn't want to go overboard with it, but obviously this is the main project. So, you know, again, Crystal, thank you for swapping with me. Obviously, I'm not gonna, you know, do the rest of the video with other stuff I'm sending you, but you know, this is the project I made you, and it was really fun to have that creative, you know, freedom, and knowing that I'm sending it to somebody who will appreciate it is great. So, oh, and then one more thing. I did take some gold paint and just kind of highlight, you know, some of the edges of things. So, I hope you guys enjoyed. This was a really fun project. It took a while, but, you know, anything that's worth doing is worth doing. So, thanks for watching, guys, and thanks for swapping with me, Crystal. Bye.